Hey guys, Johnny here in Cairns, Australia still. It's hammer time. Just got done with a coaching session with Pat, and some of the stuff we discussed really opened his eyes into how it could be beneficial to him going forward in his new journey. He had just broken up with his girlfriend. He's not where he wants to be socially, in dating, in life. So, what I want to go over is really the importance of defining where you want your life to go. So I'm going to show you Evernote. This is something that I've been using for years. I'll go over some of the importance of it, and then I will show you what we did and what he's going to work on for the next few hours. It's going to take some time to really dive in to this area of your life. It's something that most of us probably never thought about doing. It's things that you would do for a business or for schoolwork or like really just setting goals. But most of us don't take the time to sit down and identify where we are right now, where we want to go, what kind of man we want to be. So I will get into that. I'll show you Evernote real quick. I highly recommend this for people, anybody. I find it very helpful. This, as you can see, I've been doing this since 2018. I have sections here for my field reports throughout the years. So I write down what happened throughout the day, some things I could do well, things I could do to improve. Now, they're not all filled out. I don't do this every day, but it's kind of interesting to go back and see what I was doing on these dates. So this is one of my earliest entries for 2018. At the time I was in Boston. I can see what I was doing, who I was hanging out with, some of the mindsets I had. I say in here, I was not as social as I wanted to be. Talk about the stuff we did, where we went, and at the end I do some of the wins. What went well? Well, I went out and got some new experiences. I went and gave some compliments and some high fives. At the time, I was not able to go and give direct compliments to people. I was very shy and quiet still at this point. So I was trying to find ways to improve. Like I mentioned, I didn't drink any alcohol, which is much different for me. Typically, I would go out drinking, and then it was easy to talk to people. I could just be free. Like it didn't matter. I was inebriated. I didn't give a fuck. So this was one of the highlights of this night, is that I went out sober. I did some flirting with the strippers. We went to the strip club, apparently. Didn't drink any alcohol, had fun with my friends, and had fun dancing on my own. So this was really the start of my journey. And it's interesting to be able to go back and see what I was thinking, how I was feeling, what went well. I was able to dance on my own and still have fun. I didn't drink any alcohol. I had built up some different reference experiences through high fives. What could be improved? Obey the 3-second rule. Be social to everybody at the beginning of the night instead of just waiting around, and not be resigned on results. What can I work on next time? And then I started to do some, what do you call it? Affirmations, like why I'm a badass motherfucker. Like this stuff just helps. And now I can go back on it and be like, oh, that's kind of interesting what I was doing. So I'll put that in there for a plug for Evernote, or like just journaling yourself. Because I think it's great that I could go back and see what I was doing on 4/15/2018. I wrote a thing about Bali on November 26th. It's my 4th day in Bali. I'm doing all this stuff. Like now I can go back years from now. Maybe I write a book. Maybe I just want to reflect on some cool stuff I did. Maybe I want to see what my mindsets were at that time. So I think Evernote is great for that. That's not really the point of this video. What we went over is I will just put it in my mainframe. So we'll just create a new note. You can see in here, I just got done doing some like benefits of a woman meeting me / what I offer. Sometimes you get in your head that you don't have enough to offer women. It makes you shy. It makes you quiet. Maybe you think like that girl's too hot for you or whatever. So I'll just point that out because I'm sure some of you will read this side scroll here and see like benefits of what I offer, benefits of working with me. Sometimes you just got to remind yourself of what you have to offer. So I'll also plug that as well. But what I had Pat do, or what I want him to do, and this is going to take several hours to do. This is not something that's easy. This is going to take you really sitting down and figuring some shit out. You got to be honest with yourself. No one's going to read this. This is brutally honest with yourself to get where you want to go. No one's going to come to save you. I've mentioned this hundreds of times. Personal accountability. If you want the life that you want, you're going to have to fucking put in the work to do it. But most of us never actually sit down and take the time to do it. Like I said, Pat would do this for business. It really woke him up. Like, I do this for my business now. Why have I never thought about doing this for my life? So what I had him do was, just my story, Put that at the top, put the date in there so that you can revise this. Like, this is something you're going to come back to. It's not like you just do it once and it's done forever. It's something that you may do like a year from now. Like, okay, this was where I was at. This is what I want to be next year. This is what I would need to become to do that. So first thing you want to do, my story, write the date. You can do this in Google Drive, Evernote, wherever you want. But really sit down. If you're not happy with where you are right now in your life, ask yourself why. So starting where I am at now. I'll just give you like a brief thing of what I would do. I am 42. I am a bit overweight. I am starting a new business. Whatever. Just write down where you are. What kind of, and then I'll just put more bullet points here. Like, you're writing down where you are currently. Like, what are you doing for work? How old are you? Things you do, your hobbies, or I'll just put like hobbies, work, friends that you hang out with, typical weekends, relationship status. Let's see. These are just like the physical stuff. City you're living in. Really just anything you can think of, like where you're at right now in this moment in time. Also write down, what are my limiting beliefs, fears, mindsets, actions you take, daily basis, hobbies, habits. I think I mentioned, habits. Like anything that you can come up with. Like, I know a lot of, when I was going through this for sure after a divorce, I was 34, I was overweight, I was working at Liberty, I'll just say insurance company. You probably guess which one it was. Working at an insurance company, doing software development, not being very productive. I was very alone. I felt ashamed, rejected because my wife had just left me. So my relationship status, my typical weekends would be going out drinking, trying to cope with what was happening. My mindsets were that I was too old. I was too out of shape. I would never be able to become the guy that could get women. I could never be the guy that could be successful. Everybody's better than me. Like, just write down all this stuff you're thinking. No one's going to read this. It's all for you. Be as brutally honest as you can. Because some of this stuff is going to happen again. Like, I still have some of these thoughts of like poverty mindset. I'm never going to make enough money. I'm still maybe overweight, like whatever. I'm still too old to get cute girls, whatever it is. Like, you come back to this stuff. So be as brutally honest as you can. This does take time, but it will change your life. It is something that if you ask 100 people, I bet you maybe 1 out of 100 actually do this stuff. So very important. And there you go. So once you identify where you are right now, everything you can, mindsets, weight, diet, physical stuff, everything. You get the idea. If you have any questions, comment, direct message me in the school group, whatever. I'll help you out with this. Next, where do I want to go? Where do you want to? Here, I'll just put bullet points. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to travel to? I don't need to say where all the time. Travel. Types of girls you want to date. Types of girls. Relationships you want. Do you want many relationships? Do you want one really long relationship? Do you want to get married? Do you want kids? Do you want a new career, business? Career, business. What mindsets do you want? Do you want to be confident around people? Confident. In shape. Eat healthy. Whatever, you get the idea. Where do you want your life to go? I know for me, I didn't ever think about this stuff when I was married. I got married when I was 22. I was in the military. That's what I did. That was my thoughts. We'd do the military. Once that came to an end, I knew I would go to school because I needed a job, guaranteed job placement. So I did computer science. After school, I knew I needed a job, took the very first job I got, moved to small town Wisconsin, didn't have any sort of plan, never actually figured out what kind of relationship do I want? What kind of husband would I want to be? What kind of place would I want to live in? What kind of adventures would I want to have? What kind of travel would I want to do? So I never actually thought about any of this in my marriage. And it was once I got divorced that I sat down and did this stuff. So I knew where I was, divorced, the mindsets I had, how upset I was, what I was feeling. Then I figured out where I wanted to go. She left. She's gone. She's not coming back. Once I sat down, I really realized I didn't want her back as much because I started to see what would I want to do. Well, I'd want to be the social guy. I'd want to date attractive women. I'd want to have these cool adventures. I'd want to move out of small town Wisconsin. I would want to make more money. I would like to have friends. I didn't have friends when we were married. I was just hanging out with her most of the time. So I really identified where I wanted to go next. So you need to kind of do this so that you have an idea of what you want your life to look like. If you don't know where you're going, you're just going to drift like most of us do. Then the next thing is, what kind of man do you need, or man/mindsets, we'll say, mindsets, do you need to have? Masculine, social, are you charismatic? Do you work hard? Do you need to be an adventurous man? Do you have to like take risks, like actually take the time to figure out how to book these vacations? So figure out what kind of man you are. This is what I had to do. I knew that I wanted to be the social free guy because I knew that I had it in me. I knew I could be that person. I knew I didn't have to be the quiet kid. I knew I could give value to people. I knew I could I wanted to be that guy that would just talk to a girl on the street that I found attractive. I wanted to be the kind of guy that was disciplined, would set goals. So I needed to become that guy. And once I identified it, I was able to start taking steps to do that. I couldn't do direct approaches at 4, 15, 20, 18. I had to give high five to people and compliment them. Hey, I like your sweatshirt. Hey, cool shoes. High five. Like I identified that I wanted to be that guy, but I wasn't there and I needed to take steps to get there. So the kind of man I needed to be, or that I could envision that I wanted to be, was social, was able to go out without drinking. This is something that continually you just work on. It's not something that just changes overnight, or at least for me. I've struggled a lot with going back and forth on this, but you just want to identify like what kind of guy. If you want to be the kind of guy that can make a woman's day and you want to be able to do that during the day, what steps are you going to have to take? Well, you're going to have to build up the ability to just go give a compliment during the day while sober. Like you just have to be able to do that. So is that the kind of man you want to be? I wanted to be a guy who had cool adventures. Well, what do I have to do? I have to move out of Wisconsin. I have to move to these cool cities. I have to take the risk to go travel on my own. I have to go meet like-minded friends. I wanted a good social circle. I wanted to be the kind of guy that was a leader so that when I'm in a relationship, the girl knows that I'll handle things. When I was married, if something came up with something was broke in the like the garage, whatever, something breaks around the house, I would just be pretty much fucking helpless. Like, I don't know what to do. I guess we call somebody. Now it's just like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Or, when you're in a relationship and you're the leader, you just, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Oh, here's where the dates are. Many girls, you'll see this on dating apps. They just want a guy that can lead and set up a date, like the very small bar. But if you don't identify that you're that kind of guy, maybe you're not going to do that. Maybe just be like, oh, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Where do you want to go? Like the woman wants you to lead. She wants you to set up plans. So this is what I was showing Pat tonight. If you do this, it's really going to just awaken in you some of the things maybe that you're not doing that you could be doing. These were the 3 things that I had him really look for. You could also do this daily with your field reports. I highly recommend trying to do this every day for 30 days just to see if you enjoy it. But write down a field report. What were you thinking today? How were you acting? Today I woke up at around 8 a.m. was kind of tired. Was not as productive as I could be. This happened at work. I was pretty proud of that. That was good. Like just do this stuff. what were some wins? What could I do better? So try that out. But also, I wanted him to answer like, what could I do today that I would do today that would improve my life? So if you identified yourself as the guy that is disciplined, what could you do today? Well, I could make my bed, I could brush my teeth, I could put on moisturizer, and I could go to the gym. If you identified yourself as the guy that gives people a good experience and is social, what could you do today? Well, I could say hi to the cashier and just ask how their day is. I could talk to the waitress and just see where she's from or how she's feeling today. Like there's things you can do. So a lot of this stuff takes a lot of internal work. It does take you putting in the time to do it. Most guys never will. I do have the free workbook on school that you can get. It'll go through basically all this stuff. So if you don't want to just do it in Evernote, you can fill out that workbook. Another thing that is in the workbook that I mentioned to Pat too is find 3 areas that you can focus on immediately. You don't have to do everything all at once. Like you don't want to overwhelm yourself, but like if you want to become a more social person, you want better relationships, like your focus would be on maybe masculinity, charisma, and fitness. So you can look better, feel better, whatever. So really sit down and do that. Yeah, I made this video before. So if it's repetitive, hopefully it still helps you. But I just really appreciated how it just flipped in Pat, how important this stuff is. Most people will never do this. It is difficult. You do have to be brutally honest with yourself. It sucks telling yourself where you are right now. I'm 42. I'm single. I'm kind of starting over in Australia. I don't have the dating life I want. I don't have the money coming in that I want. I'm not as social as I want. Like all this stuff. And it's like, okay, well, where do I want to go? Well, I want to travel to these places. I still want to be this kind of guy. I want to be able to go out at night or in any environment and be free to be myself. I don't like this restrictions of I'm not good enough or this person's too good for me or they're too hot for me. I don't want these thoughts of, oh, I'm jealous of this person because they have that. So these are things that I want to work on. What kind of man do I have to be to become that? Well, I have to do approaches so I get more comfortable so that I can meet the women that I want. I need to focus harder on the YouTube videos so I can help more guys get to a level that they want to get to, because it's something that I wasn't taught this stuff growing up. I would have loved to learn this stuff. I want to be able to get this message out to people. So that's today's topic. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys actually sit down and do the work. It will open your eye. Be brutally honest. No one's going to read this but you, unless you make a YouTube video and let people read your shit. But yeah, if you have any questions, if there's any guidance I can give you, let me know. Mark in the comments if you did this, if it was helpful, maybe some epiphanies you had on like, yeah, maybe I do want to go move out of my town. I talked to Pat. He doesn't want to live in Cairns forever. He wants to maybe go travel to Brisbane or Tokyo, or like maybe he wants to move cities. Like he'll go through this stuff and really see, yeah, maybe I do want to get out of this town. Maybe I do want to make a new friend circle. Okay, well, I got to take some steps to do that. So I'll stop rambling about that. I hope that was helpful. At the end of this video, I will post my, actually, I'll just show you now, I guess. Here is my Airbnb. You can probably see in the background. Here's the Airbnb. My clothes are drying. There is no dryer, but there is a washer. But you can see the kitchen is here. Yep, great little kitchen, no big deal. And then the shower, I guess I got to back up because of the way it is. The shower is in the kitchen. So whoever is cooking dinner can watch me shower through this little tube. I've never seen this before in my life. There's the bathroom. There's my bed. But yeah, very fucking interesting, I guess. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Join the school group. Let me know how things are going with you. If this is helpful, like, comment, subscribe. More stuff on the way. This is kind of an impromptu video, like most of them have been. Working on it, I promise. I'll find some time one day. I'll post some stuff at the end here, like 2 clips of what I did. I actually hit the gym today, or I did a long run and workout outside, which is the first time I've done workout I've done since Nirvana. Like I think I've worked out twice in the last 30 days, which is crazy. So excited to get back on a routine. I'll be in Brisbane this weekend, I'll be living there for a little bit. So I'll be able to really dial things in again, get the routine, and post consistently, keep you guys updated, give value. Hopefully it's helpful. I'll stop it there. Peace.